Hello there and welcome to this episode of Inside Southeastern Baseball with head coach Matt Reiser, presented by your local Southern Quality Ford dealers and Buddy's Bar and Grill right here in Hammond. I'm Alan Waddell and joined as always by the head baseball coach of your Southeastern Lions, Coach Matt Reiser. And Coach, thanks for being here. Kind of a strange week for your club as no midweek games. It was only the weekend, the Southland Conference weekend against Northwestern State. Every game of the weekend would be for first place in the standings as your team got it done, taking 2 out of 3 on the weekend against the Demons.
Yeah, it's actually nice to have kind of a normal week from as far as a practice standpoint. With all the traveling and the 5-game weeks and the weather, we were able to get a good practice in on Tuesday and Wednesday this week, which was nice for a change to get 2 of those days in that we needed. I know we're midway through the season and haven't got a lot of practice in, but it was a perfect time for it and really a perfect time to kind of all hit on the cylinders. Obviously with Northwestern coming in for the weekend, the type of weekend we had, thought there was a lot of pressure there for the guys to perform, and I thought they did a great job performing underneath the pressure.
Well, Coach, I got to ask you about this. Your team has won every series on the season. You fall behind, actually lose game 1 of this series, and come back and take game 2 and game 3. I know you had to be proud of the club with that.
Yeah, really, and we knew we were going to face a tough guy on Friday night, and unfortunately we faced back-to-back pretty tough guys with the guys from Nickel and Friday night guy, the #1 starter there for Northwestern, and unfortunately we couldn't produce enough. We weren't productive enough to get some runs in. The offense cooled off a little bit here lately in the last 2 weeks, and then they took game 1. But again, proud of the resiliency of the crew to come back and do what we did on Friday and Saturday to take the series was huge for us.
So the Lions would take on Northwestern State. The series would be Thursday, Friday, Saturday due to Easter Sunday. So let's go out and check out the Game 1 highlights on Thursday night at the Pat. Coach, here we go. Thursday night, Game 1 of the series against Northwestern State. Both teams sending their ace to the mound for first place in the Southland Conference.
Yeah, I really thought Tate did a good job, putting out the right energy. You see he gets the punch out there for the leadoff guy, and we had some chances and opportunities. We get a guy at second base here in the first inning, but you got to tip your hat to the guy. Their guy was really good all night long, and gets the big strikeout there. And then Tate gives up the homer here. Probably one of the very few mistakes he made all night. Really was cruising. He got to the 8-hole and guy left one up and got a hold of it. They get a couple more runs here later in the ball game. But really, to be honest with you, as good as their Friday night guy was, the little ball drops in here just out the reach of Seward, makes it 2-0. That would be all they would need.
Yeah, you have to sometimes tip your hat at the other, and then this one, goes right down the line and gets in there, and they go up 3-0 at this point. But we've talked about this a few times on the year. Sometimes you got to just look out there and tip your hat to the other guy, and he was really good. Let's just call it like it was.
Yeah, and then Kevin Carr gets a big knock here to finally score 1. But, their guy was so good on Friday night. We got to be a better job of executing. Had first and third one out, had back-to-back strikeouts. And when you do that on Friday night, it makes it really tough to score some runs. As you saw, he was able to go a complete game, just locating that fastball all night long there with a strikeout.
So you dropped game 1 of the series 3-1 to Northwestern State. The Demons take a temporary lead in the Southland Conference, but every game would be for first place on this weekend. Coach, unfortunately, couldn't get it done in Game 1 on Thursday night. You got to give their sophomore pitcher a lot of credit. Really did a nice job against your team on Thursday.
Yeah, unfortunately he did. I was hoping he wouldn't have his best stuff, but he did. Went CG against us. We tried to do a couple of different things and try to pitch count him, try to have some grounded out bats, some productive at bats, and like I said, at the end of the night, it was his night, and he pitched extremely well. And there's a reason he was the Southland Freshman of the Year last year, and you saw it also on Thursday night. All
right, well, let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the highlights from both Friday and Saturday as the Lions will look to regain first place in the Southland Conference. Right here on Inside Southeastern Baseball with head coach Matt Reiser, presented by your local Southern Quality Ford dealers and Buddy's Bar and Grill right here in Hammond. Stay with us.
Ford Truck Month is here, and it's all about the numbers, people. Like low financing and big cash back on the 2014 F-150 while they last. Here's another number for you. 42. On average, a Ford F-Series is sold every 42 seconds. Now that's impressive. Get 9,000 total savings or 0 for 60 on the 2014 F-150. The time is now. See your Southern Quality Ford dealer today.
Your eyesight is so important, and when it comes to your eye care, let the friendly staff at the Bond Roten Eye Clinic care for you. Doctors Hunter Bond and Chris Roten, along with their staff of trained doctors, are committed to providing every patient with quality care. The Bond Roten Eye Clinic has the latest medical technology and eye care to help you, the patient. With over 14 years of experience, the Von Roten Eye Clinic has 3 locations to serve you, with offices in Denham Springs, Hammond, and Amite. So if it's a checkup, glasses, or LASIK surgery, you need to visit the Von Roten Eye Clinic. For more information on the clinic, please visit bondroteneyeclinic.com.
Lions Baseball is supported by Louisiana's First Choice Auto Auction, located in SLU's hometown, Hammond, Louisiana. Louisiana's First Choice Auto Auction is a dealer-only auction.
For more information on Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction or their upcoming charity golf tournament, please visit www.lafcaa.com or visit Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction on Facebook and Twitter. Welcome to Buddy's Bar and Grill, located at 1236 South Morrison Boulevard in Hammond. Buddy's is home to great steaks, fresh seafood, and friendly service. Buddy's has been voted the best steakhouse and best restaurant in Tangipahoa Parish. With over 2,500 square feet and 3 large dining rooms, Buddy's can accommodate any party. Buddy's goal has always been to wow customers with their food and prices. Owner Scott Henderson and his family have always believed in giving customers good deals for their hard-earned money. Stop by Buddy's Bar and Grill for dinner and a drink. For more information on Buddy's, please visit buddyshammond.com.
Welcome back to Inside Southeastern Baseball with head coach Matt Rosser, presented by your local Southern Quality Ford dealers and Buddy's Bar and Grill right here in Hammond. The Lions would look to bounce back after Thursday, as they would go right back out on Friday night against Northwestern State. Here's the highlights. All right, Coach, come back out Friday night against Northwestern State. Jake Johnson on the mound, and this was a big game. You have not lost a series all season long. A chance to even it up here on Friday.
Yeah, you know, we send Jake Johnson out to the mound, and in typical Jake fashion, he gave up some hits, but you see we do a good job here defensively after the hit. Throw it away, stay with the play, and throw the guy out there at second base. And, you know, Jake did a good job of settling in there for a little while. He got his slider going pretty good, really worked himself out some big situations, and this was one of them. He gets the back-to-back strikeouts there, second and third, nobody out, keeps the game at 1-0, or 0-0, excuse me, and does a good job on our offense to get some things going.
And this was this guy's night. Well, Bobo, that would be his first home run of the night of 2, as he absolutely crushed that ball to right field. He's really been a spark since he's been inserted into the lineup a couple of weeks ago.
He really has, and I'm just so proud of him. He did a good job of himself with some good counts, didn't try to do too much, and ended up doing a lot with those pitches. You know, 2-0, 3-1, and I think the other one was 3-1 as well. Hit 2 homers and 1 all the way to the wall. Really had a good night. You know, the big thing for us on this night, we had 5 hits, but all of them were very, very big hits for us.
That's Jake Johnson with another strikeout. He was looking for his conference-leading 6th win of the season. Another punch-out is when he gets it going, very tough to hit.
He really is, and you know, Chris Eads had a much better weekend this weekend at the plate. He's been catching very well for us, but had been struggling a little bit last week and a half offensively, and does a good job of getting a knock there. We do a good job of laying off a pitch here, so now we got first and second with nobody out. Might have been a strike there, but we'll take the ball forward there in the 3-0 count to load up the bags. And, you know, really, that bat you're going to see coming up here, Jacob Williams tried to grind one out, hits into a double play. So we got second and third, 2 outs. Daniel Midyat comes up here 0-1 with a huge knock to get 2 runs in, and really gave us the momentum back where we needed to make it 3-0.
Yeah, that was a huge point in the game. They looked like they were going to get out of a bases loaded, nobody out situation, and then Middy with the 2 RBI single right there. And Jake Johnson, another strikeout.
Right back to work. You know, he really was good all night before the lights went out, which you'll see here in a moment. But again, we go right back to work. Here's the 3rd hit you see. Again, another RBI, 3 hits, 4 RBIs. This is kind of the way the offense has been working lately. We've been doing a good job of getting some guys on base and then getting the big hits when we need it. You know, the long ball we did use on Friday night. Every guy used a couple long balls on Friday night as well with the wind blowing out. But it just shows your offense can score in multiple ways. We can do it by running the bases, playing small ball, or hitting the long ball as well.
Another base hit there as you continue to add to your lead. And you would need every run in this one.
Yeah, you know, again, this makes it 5-1 in this situation. We run a first and third play. We score the guy from third base to make it 6-1. Nobody realized at that time how important that run would be later in the ball game, but that's why we try to get every run we possibly can, because at the end of the day, every run is so crucial. And Jake Johnson did a good job of kind of getting back in his groove here and really just cruising. And all of a sudden, here you see the lights. Had a power surge, had a line go down all around Hammond. We get the dark. Really kind of set Jake Johnson back a little bit.
Yeah, Matt, you know, realistically, that changed the ball game. I know they get a big punch out right there, but you got to give Northwestern State. It was almost like that Super Bowl. A couple years ago when the lights go out, the other team kind of makes a comeback as Northwestern would get back in this ball game.
They would. They make it 6-5. But I tell you what, we go to the bullpen with Dominic Carlini, who's been absolutely outstanding out of the bullpen. And you can see him here. Had his ball moving, fastball, changeup, really running it down away from the hitters. And then a great play here by Brett Hoffman here in the 9th inning to finish off the ball game.
Lions win this one 6-5, take game 2 of the series, even it up as the rubber game would be on Saturday, but this game belonged to Webb Bobo. 2 home runs on the night, the first 2 of his Lion career. Matt, Jake Johnson picks up his 6th win of the year. Webb Bobo with 2 home runs, and also Dominic Carlini comes in and gets the save. I want to talk about him a little bit right now. Dominic Carlini has really settled into that closer role.
He really has. You saw the stuff there that first start against Tulane and how well he did. And unfortunately, the start against LSU kind of threw him a little bit of a funk. But Dominic is a tough kid. Does a good job of kind of finding his role. And really, to be back in that bullpen, you've got to have a strong mentality. And obviously, you saw it there on Friday night with the way he came in and closed the game.
So the Lions and the Demons even the series at 1 game apiece, and the rubber match would be on Saturday on a beautiful day for baseball. Here's the highlights. All right, come back out for Game 3. This was neon day at the ballpark. As you had your gold uniforms, they had their orange uniforms on, and Kyle Sedetall would take the mound. And once again, it seems like we say this over and over about all of our starters, but this guy's been really good this year, and he'd be really good on this day.
He would, and again, just a good job moving the ball around. I was really proud of our guys. I didn't think we got some of the right bounces. You see here early, first leadoff hitter kind of just hit the ball right into the ground, bounced over third baseman's head, but Sedetall did a good job of, again, just eliminating some of those big innings they had a chance to have. And I thought we didn't get the bounces right offensively either early. It kind of felt like it was very similar to Nichols Sunday game, Game 3, where we had some things not go our way, but the guys did a fantastic job of staying resilient. As you see Sedetall go there back door with the guy in scoring position for a big strikeout there to keep our guys in it.
Julian Serves will get the start on this day. Takes a walk there. He had something going offensively.
And again, we started talking about the bounces. We got lucky here. They do the pitch out on the hit and run. I don't know if they had the signs or what it was, but they kept guessing right on it. And you got him to second base there, got him in scoring position, but couldn't get the hit there. And went right back to Sedetall. Again, you see another one, not really hit hard here, but just hit right out the reach of Brett Hoffman to get a double. But again, Kyle did such a good job of just kind of controlling the ball game. And even though, here we go again, talking about not a break, I thought the guy was out at first base. I stopped it and replayed it a couple of times, and he was out at first base. I go out to argue the call, and that's a huge call. It's out number 3. Instead, it's a run for them. But again, Kyle does a good job of selling down, doesn't allow that to affect the rest of the inning. Gets out number 3 and allows the offense to get back in and get to work.
And here's Webb Bobo again, continuing his hot weekend as he gets up and started with a base hit to left field.
Yeah, really a good piece of hitting. And then we have the balk call here. They picked over 3 times. The 3rd time he tried a balk move. He got us picked off, but with the balk we get a chance to advance to second base and really kind of changed our offense a little bit. We were trying to hit and run, maybe move a guy over, but allow Brett Hoffman to swing here instead of bunting him in. He drives one over the right fielder's head for a double. Yeah, to score Webb, and really allowed this inning to kind of get going a little bit.
So Lions put up their first run of the ball game on that RBI double by Brett Hoffman. Always the hardest ball to play is when it's hit right at you. He was hit right at that right field and went over his head. Got something going, and Sed would come back out and put some zeros up.
Yeah, again, like you talked about, just really in control for most of the game. Had one little spot in there where he got himself in trouble a little bit, threw a couple balls, but really would settle down and allow our offense to go to work. And here we go again. We're talking about Chris Eads having a good weekend. I think it was 1 for 1 on Thursday night, had a single and had some walks, had some sacrifices. That's what we keep talking about. We got to have some productive at-bats in order to score runs. You're not going to go out and get 15 hits every game and score 10 runs every game, but you got to find a way to win. And I thought our guys did a good job of having some productive at-bats. And then we made our break. We got first and second, nobody out, allowed Julian to swing the bat here, loads up the bags on a miscommunication in right field because that sun was really, really tough out in right field. We actually had a miscommunication as well. Just got fortunate enough to catch it. And then Daniel Midyek comes up with a big knock there in the gap, scored 2 runs, and kind of extend this lead out to 3-1.
Lions give themselves some separation here with that big knock. It seems like Daniel Midyek does that just about every game, at least once a weekend. as it comes up with a big spot and drives in some runs. And this was a strange play in the game here, Matt, is that you could kind of see it there as it looked like there was interference, and I know there would be a long argument here after this play.
Yeah, we got an obstruction called. I was really disappointed that the umpire's ego wouldn't allow him to go get help with the other guys. I read the rule, said that the crew chief and the crew could get together to award the right bags, but again, you're not going to get every call, and you got to be able to handle it, and I thought we did a fantastic job of doing that. You know, that's a big run that comes off the board for us. It makes it 6-1. Instead, it's 5-1, really trying to expand that lead, but it allows us to go right back to work. You know, Kyle does a good job of keeping it where it needed to be at 5-2, and then Matt comes in and closes the door.
Lions win the series, move to 11-4 in Southland Conference play, and once again are in first place in the Southland Conference standings after the weekend. Well, Matt, you take the series. Congratulations, and really Kyle Sedetall was outstanding once again, and just a very nice way to respond after dropping game one, taking those last two games in the series.
You know, it really was, and I thought it was a complete team effort. I thought Kyle pitched extremely well. I thought we swung the bats well. I thought we ran the bases well. I was proud of the guys. You know, we had some resiliency there on Sunday or Saturday, I should say, in game three, where we refused to lose that series. And I tell you what, it was a nice little Easter present for myself and for the boys to get that Easter break.
Lions pushed their overall record to 24-9 and also their conference record to 11-4 and remain in first place in the Southland Conference. Also, for the second week in a row, receive votes in the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at all the Southland Conference standings right here on Inside Southeastern Baseball with head coach Matt Riser, presented by your local Southern Quality Ford dealers and Buddy's Bar and Grill. Stay with us.
Ford Truck Month is here, and it's all about the numbers, people. Like low financing and big cash back on the 2014 F-150 while they last. Here's another number for you. 42. On average, a Ford F-Series is sold every 42 seconds. Now that's impressive. Get 9,000 total savings or 0 for 60 on the 2014 F-150. The time is now. See your Southern Quality Ford dealer today.
Welcome to Buddy's Bar and Grill, located at 1236 South Morrison Boulevard in Hammond. Buddy's is home to great steaks, fresh seafood, and friendly service. Buddy's has been voted the best steakhouse and best restaurant in Tangipahoa Parish. With over 2,500 square feet and 3 large dining rooms, Buddy's can accommodate any party. Buddy's goal has always been to wow customers with their food and prices. Owner Scott Henderson and his family have always believed in giving customers good deals for their hard-earned money. Stop by Buddy's Bar and Grill for dinner and a drink. For more information on Buddy's, please visit buddyshammond.com.
Welcome back to Inside Southeastern Baseball with head coach Matt Riser, presented by your local Southern Quality Ford dealers and Buddy's Bar and Grill right here in Hammond. As now, Coach, we're going to take a look at the Southland Conference standings as we pop them up there on the screen. Right now, you're in first place. But once again, this conference race is very tight. The top 8 teams separated by only 3.5 games. There's a lot of good baseball being played in this conference.
You know, there really is. And if you go outside of the conference and see what teams are doing, you know, just this past week, Corpus Christi beat Texas. You know, Houston Baptist last week took 2 out of 3 from Iowa, who's in the top 25 now. You know, it's a good brand of baseball going on. And, you know, we knew it was going to be a big weekend having Northwestern being in second place, but every weekend in the Southland Conference is going to be tough. You know, Abilene, who only had a couple wins coming in, is now starting to knock off some people. They knock off Houston Baptist the week after they knock off Iowa. So, again, it's a typical year in the conference where every game's important, every run's important to win that championship.
It certainly is. As now we're going to take a look at our Lion profile this week, and we're going to profile left-handed hitter Webb Bobo.
He has one of those names that just rolls right off the tongue. Meet number 24, Webb Bobo. Bobo came to Hammond by way of Prattville, Alabama, and prior to this past Friday, Bobo never hit a home run as a Lion. That all changed pretty quickly.
I don't really know. The first one, he left me a fastball up, and it's just a good pitch to hit out of. I felt good about it, like that. It was a good pitch to hit. And then I thought, you know, it'd be cool to hit a second one. I wasn't thinking at all that I was going to hit a second one, actually, but man, when that second one, when I hit it and it went out, man, it was just crazy. Rounding second and seeing all the guys going nuts, like it's one of the best feelings I've ever had playing baseball.
That's right, Bobo hit 2 out of the pet in game 2 of the series. And just when you want to give Webb credit for the 2 bombs, you learn the truth. Baked goods had something to do with it.
Well, actually, Dom's girlfriend, Lauren, she cooked brownies for us, and I had 2, and so maybe I just need to eat 2 brownies every day.
Relief pitcher Dominic Carlini's girlfriend Lauren supplied the brownies, and Bobo supplied the bat speed. What resulted was a 2-homer day. He's beginning to get more comfortable at the plate as he gains more at-bats.
It's crucial to, I think, to get game time, to just get in a flow. I know it's tough just getting an at-bat maybe once a weekend, just trying to get a pinch hit. But I'm just so happy that I'm able to contribute now and just staying in the lineup and just helping the team. I mean, it's fun to stay in the dugout and help the team in that way by cheering them on, but it's even more satisfying when you can say, you know, I've really been a part of the team today and really just contributed to the win.
Bobo's 2-homer game came in the second game of the series after a loss in Thursday's Game 1 of the series. So Webb and his teammates knew how crucial Game 2 was.
We had to win yesterday. We felt like it. I felt like it was all business yesterday. I mean, honestly, we were really frustrated. I thought as a team, I know I was really frustrated after Thursday. Just couldn't put anything together. Their guy was really good. And it was just great to come out and perform like we know we can.
This week is spring break for the Lions, so it's all baseball with an out-of-conference series at Utah on the docket. Webb and the Lions want to just keep playing good baseball, no matter who's across the field in the other dugout.
Well, Matt, we've talked about this guy the last couple of weeks. It really has been an everyday starter for maybe the last 3 to 4 weeks, and he was tremendous with those 2 home runs on Friday. And I'll tell you, if baked goods is making it happen, you need to get him some more brownies before the games.
Yeah, you know, Webb has worked extremely hard. Reminds me so much of Daniel Midyat. You know, Midyat came in freshman year. We knew he was going to be a good player. As he got stronger, he continued to get stronger, and all of a sudden you look up, Midyat's in his 3rd year and leading the conference in home runs. And Webb's very similar. We saw him out of high school there in Alabama and saw him at some tournaments and kept going back in, going, you know what, as soon as this kid gets a little bit stronger, you know, his work ethic, really going to be a tremendous hitter, and he's really molded into that here as a sophomore year.
All right, it's now time to take a look at our weekly Tip of the Week with Coach Matt Riser.
Hi, welcome to this week's Tip of the Week. To help us demonstrate this week's Tip of the Week will be Ryan Byers from Ponchatoula High School. This week's Tip of the Week is be straight steals at first base. We'll talk about 2 different ways that we steal first base. First of all, will be a primary lead. Go ahead, Rano. You'll see him get off there, 1, 2, 3, shuffle out. He'll get in contact, make sure he's in contact with 12 here. He'll make sure his foot's just slightly open so he can clear his hips when he's ready to run. Our first steal is what we call grab the money and run. He'll do a good job keeping his feet moving, stay on the ball of his feet, and he'll explode his back half. Go. Accelerate that left foot hand. We'll show it one more time. Really accelerate the left hand here, almost like there's a $20 bill here that he'll grab and take and steal the second base. Ready? Go. And grab that money and run and put him in a straight line there at second base. The other way we teach our steals is a lean steal. He'll basically try to time up the pitcher. He'll nice and easy with his chest, just kind of lean into it. He'll reset if he doesn't get it, reset, and when he gets it right, go. He'll explode out there, put him in a straight line with second base. That's this week's Tip of the Week.
Well, Matt, we see Ryan Byers there with straight steals at first, and he's doing it right now the best on your club with 11 bags swiped here in 2015.
Yeah, you know, it's big for us. You know, we talk about being a complete offense, and some people talk about, do you play small ball, do you play gorilla ball? We play an aggressive style of baseball, and we got to be able to win days when the wind blows out, like we did on Friday with Webb's 2 home runs. But then Saturday, the wind's howling in, so we got to find a way to win again. And we do that by running the bases the way we do and being very aggressive. Ryan's done a fabulous job being in that starting lineup almost every single day. He does a good job being aggressive and getting really extremely good jumps here at first base.
All right, let's go ahead and take our final break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the scouting report for this weekend right here on Inside Southeastern Baseball with head coach Matt Riser, presented by your local Southern Quality Ford dealers and Buddy's Bar and Grill. Stay with us.
Ford Truck Month is here, and it's all about the numbers, people. Like low financing and big cash back on the 2014 F-150 while they last. Here's another number for you. 42. On average, a Ford F-Series is sold every 42 seconds. Now that's impressive. Get 9,000 total savings or 0 for 60 on the 2014 F-150. The time is now. See your Southern Quality Ford dealer today.
Welcome back to Inside Southeastern Baseball. Head coach Matt Riser, presented by your local Southern Quality Ford dealers and Buddy's Bar and Grill right here in Hammond. Well, coach, kind of an unusual conference schedule this year, as you don't play in conference every weekend. This is your week off. as I say week off from conference play, is you're going to be on the road. It's a flight over to Salt Lake City to take on the University of Utah out of the Pac-12.
Yeah, you know, again, when we go through the schedule every year, this is probably the demon on the schedule, so to speak, that we have to find, while everybody else is in conference play, find somebody else who else is not in conference at the same time and try to match it up. This year, unfortunately, we have to go to Utah. The good part about it is we do take on a Pac-12 opponent that, again, will help our RPI. We'll give some good exposure out there. The only bad part might be the weather. Yeah, it might be a little bit chilly out there, but you know, just going and looking at the scouting report on these guys, got off to kind of a slow start early, but has played extremely well as of late. They've taken the series from Kansas, they took another series from Arizona, and then lost in the 9th inning on Sunday to Arizona State, who's ranked 6th in the country, to lose that series 2 out of 3. So they're playing much better brand of baseball, but it'll be good for us to get out there and try to get some guys in the game.
Well, Matt, I'll ask you this as well, because it is a flight. It's a long way from home, and ultimately, if you're going to get this program where you want it to go, you're going to have to get on some flights and go win some baseball games.
That's exactly it. You know, when the regional time comes around, you don't know where you're going to be sent off to. Sometimes it might be Baton Rouge, but it's just a little bus ride over. Sometimes it might be all the way to Oregon, and you got to be able to get on a flight and deal with the jet lag and that kind of stuff. Again, I think it just goes back to our mentality, our makeup, and how we handle that. It doesn't matter where or when or who. Just tell us where to be, and we'll be there and compete as hard as we can from that first pitch to the last one.
Well, all the games this week are on the road, because then you come back home. You're not home very long, and you're going to get on the bus and go over to Lafayette to take on the Cajuns of UL Lafayette on Tuesday. And always a good matchup whenever the Cajuns and the Lions get together.
It really is. It's become a really nice matchup midweek here for us, home and home every single year. We've had our fair share of wins, and in the last 2 years they've had their fair share of wins against us. So it'll be a chance for the guys to get over there, get back in a nice atmosphere again. They do a good job of drawing, especially when we come over, because it's so many local guys that we have. Our start shortstop from Lafayette. We have other guys on the team from that area. It's always a good heated rivalry that's a good, clean baseball.
Well, if you can't make the flight to Utah to watch your Lions take on Pac-12 opponent, the Utah Utes, you can always listen to Damon Sunday, the voice of Lion baseball, on KSLU 90.9 on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then Tuesday night over in Lafayette. That's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for joining us. For Coach Matt Reiser, I'm Alan Waddell. We'll see you next week right here on Inside Southeastern Baseball with head coach Matt Reiser, presented by your local Southern Quality Ford dealers and Buddy's Bar and Grill. See you next week.
Seattle. Oh, boy, get out. Get out. Attaboy.